If you or your loved one is impacted by diabetes and have questions, the Barbados Diabetes Foundation has the answers.
It's always easier to reverse diabetes, certainly control it properly and avoid complications if you at least know that you have it.
So it's just again to re-emphasize the importance of good diabetic care. And diabetic care involves really almost every part of the body. So it's your feet, your heart. But again, we're coming back to what our main focus is at this time is the eye care.
The Maria Holder Diabetes Center, located in Warren, St. Michael, is your source of diabetic care. You can reach them by calling 243-EYES, 243-3937 for more information.
People, it's 9 o'clock. It's time for the Maria Holder Diabetes Radio Show.
Whether you are diabetic or pre-diabetic or have a family member who's one of the two, it's time for you to stay locked on to VOB 92.9 FM this Saturday morning for 15 sugar-free vascular minutes that will make you open your eyes and say,
"Why didn't know that?"
With the compliments of the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program, the Maria Holder Diabetes Center, and Republic Bank, the power to make a difference. Morning to everybody listening to VOB. This is Peter Boyce here. I know a lot of people out there listening to this show love their oldie goldies. So make sure and keep listening because I got a good oldie lineup to play for you this morning. You can feel like if I was Larry Mears. Keep listening. But first, let me tell you that the Maria Holder Diabetes Center is an institution dedicated exclusively to the management of diabetes in Barbados.
How did it do that, Boise?
By offering a multidisciplinary approach to diabetes care, a concept which is new to Barbados. Patients may be seen by diabetes specialist physicians, specialist nurses, and nutritionists at the same visit in a holistic exercise.
What about if I was a diabetic and I got problems with my foot?
The center also houses a foot care clinic which is run by podiatrist specialists who work in tandem with the rest of the team.
So how can get access to all these services, boy?
Patients are seen on referral or by appointment by calling 243-3937.
Wait, you're going too fast. You repeat that number again, please?
243-3937.
So let's move on with today's show. Last week, we focused on what is the Woosnam Type 1 Diabetes Registry and why it is important to have a Type 1 registry. You remember that? If you missed it, you can go on the Barbados Diabetes Foundation YouTube page and listen to last week's show or any of the other shows that you might have missed. But this week, you might have heard about it and you might be wondering, should I sign up for this Woosnam registry program? How would it benefit me if I sign up? For the answer to this, we go to UWI Head of Department of Clinical Sciences and Consultant Pediatrician with the QEH and Clinical Manager of the Woosnam Type 1 Diabetes Registry Project, Dr. Michelle Lashley. Dr. Lashley, who should sign up for the Woosnam Type 1 Diabetes Registry?
You can sign up online. The registry project does have an online facility that we can do this online, and anyone who has type 1 diabetes should register. So this is someone who their doctor tells them you have diabetes that we classify as type 1, or who has been diagnosed as diabetic under the age of 18 should register, because all children we like to get registered. So if you're under the age of 18, have been diagnosed with definitely having diagnosis of diabetes, or if you had your diagnosis of diabetes prior to the age of 18 and are now an adult, in other words, you're an adult living with type 1 diabetes, you should register. The program is still focused mainly with the children because many adults with type 1 diabetes have their personal physicians that they have been familiar with for several years, and we don't want to break that mold. We just want to know who you are and whether you can give us some assistance in knowing what your needs are going forward. Because the more we know about it, the more we can put forward to get funding.
What are the benefits of a person being registered on this diabetes registry?
Those who have known to have type 1 diabetes should register for the type 1 diabetes registry program, and anyone who is diagnosed with diabetes under the age of 18 should register. So that way we'll have a better idea on what the needs of all these persons are, because we can't help you unless we know your needs. So when you're registered, one of two things happen. You will have the opportunity to either be part of any of the support systems that we have in place already, or you will just be on the listing and you will get information sent out to you periodically on what is available for you within the program at this point. So the registration form, which is under T as in common T, 1D as in dog, registrybarbados.com. When you go onto our site, there'll be a question asked, would you like to register to be part of the program? And they will say, yes, I'd like to register, or not. If you'd like to register, then there are a few questions to answer on the website, and your information is stored in a protective sheet and kept, not to be spread to other persons. This is not something we share data with. And if once we have your mailing address or your email address, then any information related to diabetes to these persons, we will send this out to you. So we had been doing some newsletters, we had been offering some specific discounted products, as I said, particularly with the medical alert bracelets. This was one of our biggest impact, that you get a discounted medical alert bracelet through one of the companies that does the medical alert bracelets. And you might know that the Living Collection, which is a small company that locally makes medical alert bracelets, they were offering a discounted version for this. So anybody who's registered in the program was able to get a medical alert bracelet. And a few other corporate agencies have come on board, particularly iMart Stores was offering their discounted card for all of our clients who are in the Type 1 registry. And I think that offers a 10% on anything bought in the iMart pharmacies and stores. So we are still in its genesis in the context of getting much more corporate support for this, particularly looking at things like discounted prices and so forth. But once you're in that registry bank, you will be able to get that information once these come on board for us.
Thank you, Dr. Lashley. So let me now focus on diabetic retinopathy. Because some people still have questions on it, we now bring in clinical lead of the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program, Dr. Charles Pierce. Dr. Pierce, what are the symptoms a person might experience who might have diabetic retinopathy?
So in vast majority of people who have diabetic retinopathy, they're going to experience no real symptoms. So in the mild, moderate, or severe class of diabetic retinopathy, there usually are no symptoms of the disease. However, if you start to develop, for instance, leakage in the center of the macula at the very back of the eye, then you can start to lose that central vision. So you get cloudy vision in the center area. So faces, for instance, if you look directly at someone, appear blurred. You're not able to distinguish letters or have difficulty reading. So that's what can happen when you have macular edema, which is a term for leakage in the center of the retina at the back of the eye. You can also develop these abnormal blood vessels that grow on the retina, and they can start to bleed. So you might notice new onset of floaters, and sometimes they appear red. So you know that's actually blood in the eye. And these abnormal blood vessels that are there, they can start to scar, like a scar anywhere else on the body. And when they do that, they pull on the retina, and they can actually pull the retina off. And in that case, you can have a significant loss of vision as a result. So those are the two main complications that we're trying to avoid with diabetic retinopathy screening.
So when a person starts to experience those symptoms, would it still be useful to get their eyes screened?
Absolutely. If they've not been seen by an eye care professional, then screening is still an option, and then you can be referred appropriately after the screening process.
Dr. Pierce, some people might feel that instead of getting their eyes screened every year, they would go every 2 years and save some money. Would that be okay?
Ideally not. We recommend, and most organizations across the world recommend, that all diabetics have an annual eye check to make sure that there's no evidence of progression. Because, like I said before, these changes can be happening and you have no symptoms, you have no idea that anything is going on with the eyes. So it's very important that someone has a look to see if there are any signs of diabetic eye disease.
What is the treatment for diabetic retinopathy?
There are two main forms of treatment. There are injections of a drug. There are several different drugs that you can inject into the eye. And unfortunately, when people hear injecting into the eye, they're thinking it's going to be a painful experience, but it's not. In vast majority of cases, you don't actually feel anything. And the drugs that we have available work very well to get rid of the swelling at the back of the eye and can significantly improve the vision. The other option in terms of treatment is laser. So the laser is usually applied for abnormal blood vessels. And what we do is we apply the laser on the outside of the retina, and it causes these blood vessels to shrink, and then they're less likely to bleed, less likely to scar, and then less likely to create problems in the future. So those are the two main modalities of treatment that we have, either laser or injecting a drug into the eye.
Dr. Pierce, how could an injection in your eye not be painful?
Well, so we put in lots of anesthetic drops. That's the first thing. And the second thing is it's a very, very thin needle. So in both of those two factors together mean that most cases you don't feel anything when you're doing the injection.
We go from Dr. Pierce, the eye doctor, straight into our eye sound for today. This is the oldie goldie, I promise you, taking you back to the year 1953. This is Dean Martin with Don't Let the Stars Get in Your Eyes. Compliments Republic Bank and the Maria Holder Diabetes Center, always there to make sure nothing gets in your eyes.
Don't let the stars get in your eyes, don't let the moon break your heart. Love blooms at night, in daylight it dies. Don't let the stars get in your eyes, oh keep your heart for me, for someday I'll return and you know you're the only one I'll ever love. Too many nights, too many stars, too many moons to change your mind. If I'm gone for long, don't forget where you belong. When the stars come out, remember you are mine. Don't let the stars get in your eyes, don't let the moon break your heart. Love blooms at night, in daylight it dies. Don't let the stars get in your eyes, oh keep your heart for me, for someday I'll return and you know you're the only one I'll ever love.
Contact the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program today at 243-EYES, 243-3937. Book your vascular or ABI screening test today by calling the Maria Holder Diabetes Center, 243-3937.
Too many miles, too many days, too many nights to be alone. Oh, please keep your heart while we are apart. Don't you linger in the moonlight when I'm gone. Don't let the stars get in your eyes, don't let the moon break your heart. Love blooms at night, in daylight it dies. Don't let the stars get in your eyes, oh keep your heart for me, for someday I'll return and you know you're the only one I'll ever love.
If you are looking for an institution that's dedicated exclusively to the management of diabetes in Barbados, that offers a range of services that caters to both diabetics and pre-diabetics, the Maria Holder Diabetes Center, located in Warren St. Michael, is the answer for you. Whether it's diabetic eye screening, podiatry, or vascular screening, you will receive a level of service and treatment that exceeds any you might receive regionally or internationally. So if you are listening to your radio right now and need to make an appointment or need more information on any diabetic issue you might have, make that call now at 417-5980 or 243-3937. The last 15 eye-opening minutes you heard on VOB was brought to you of the compliments of the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program, the Maria Holder Diabetes Center, and Republic Bank. Until next time, remember, your health is your wealth.
Did you know nearly 1 in 5 adults in Barbados have diabetes? Did you know diabetes is one of the leading causes of vision loss in the world? Regular eye screening can save your eyes. Contact the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program today at 243-3937.